gentlemen, we are the Millie Goats. I am actually on vacation. Tex is here with me, but I think he's asleep. That's okay. You'll notice the backdrop is a little different. We've had, if I sound a little quieter, it's because I'm trying not to wake up everybody in the house, but the show must go on. Everybody can see I have the Millie Goats rope hat on. So we took yesterday off and Sunday off from the live show, but that's okay. Um, the show goes on. I'm telling you right now, like we were not about to miss an opportunity to get to talk about the NFL draft. There were some shockers. I think we have all the pre-draft stuff with the outfits and the red carpet and the this and the that. And there's a whole bunch of stuff, and I just bookmarked a few things. We're not going to be on here too long, but we didn't get to go last night. Didn't work out. Trying to find a place to record up in this house. So, but we finally found a spot up here in the top floor. But let me tell you something. I got absolutely fried the first day. Uh, Very weird sunburn too. Like collar, like chain, like I had a gold chain on around my neck. I don't know. It was very strange. Must have been the tank top. But we're down on the coast. The weather's been phenomenal. Um, we've been fishing like crazy the past few days, which has been spectacular. And football is back. So, I think initially early on, the big thought was what the hell was Adam Schefter doing? I think that's one of the biggest questions. I think could Green Bay handle it? Everybody, I saw a few posts about Green Bay. Given the old small town vibe from some of the big news reporters or whatever you want to call them, saying, "Oh, look how cute this little coffee shop is," and then people getting offended from Green Bay, and rightfully so. So, um, but anyways, let's get into this stuff. So at the red carpet, we had Ashton Jeanty, who showed up in Crocs. So you got to respect Ashton Jeanty. I don't care what you think about him, but to show up in Crocs in a designer suit, gotta love that. That means he's a lunch pail guy, 100% lunch pail guy. And it's Pete Carroll trying to recreate and we're gonna go through all the picks. Like we'll go through all the picks and the trades and all that stuff. So, um, but yeah, we got Ashton Jeanty showing up in the Crocs. That was incredible. So shout out to him. He wins the red carpet reveal. Good for him. Secondly, I didn't even know they did walkout music. Um, but apparently these are the walkout songs from Adam Schefter. For those of you can't see, check out the podcast. Thanks for listening to the podcast, by the way. Day late, but that's okay. They had walkout music, which I bookmarked, and I'm like, first of all, the, there's how many players are on here? Each draft prospect in Green Bay. How many are there? There's like 15, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 16, I think. So I know there's a lot of these songs and I had literally have no idea who they are. Imaginary Players from Jay-Z. Nope. Free Promo from Lil Baby. Nope. Lil Wayne right above it. Shout out Will Campbell. Tackle from LSU. Makes sense. Wheezy's from there. About My Money. That tells you a lot about Abdul Carter. Good for him. Matthew Golden was International Players Anthem. I Choose You. Oh, yeah, I know that. Okay. And then bottom is Gunna, and then Him All Along from Gunna. Let It All Work Out from Lil Wayne. Clear My Rain from Gunna. Toast Up from Gunna. Who's this Gunna guy? Forever by Drake. Get Ready by Rue Wave. Rich Homie Quan Walkthrough. Thank You Lord. Well, Jalen Milroe didn't get drafted. Neither did what's the guy's name? The cornerback from Michigan. He didn't get drafted either. So, anyways, I just was looking through this and I was like, I don't know if I'm old or what, but I don't know any of these songs. I know like 3 of these songs, 2 of these songs, really. So if I blink a lot, my contacts are absolutely been shot by the salt water down here. So anyways, walkout music. There you go. I didn't even know they did that, but good for them. This was also a cool story from the NFL. Ted McMillan and Mason Graham went from being high school teammates to soon to be first round picks. Pretty cool. And I think they went what, 5th and 8th overall. Ted McMillan to the Panthers and then Graham to the Browns. That's pretty cool. Good for them. And then, you know, let's move on to Shedeur Sanders. Shedeur Sanders. He had a custom draft room where all the NFL teams he thinks may draft him. And there's what, 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. So he had 20 places that he thought he might go. I didn't even see the Niners on there. First of all, I'm a Niners fan. For everybody listening to this, if you're listening to the show by now, you already know that. But Shedeur Sanders had this custom draft. He had a big thing of like gold chains and jewelry and all this stuff. And like he's gonna have to put it all on, literally on ice. He have to put his ice on ice. But holy smokes. So he had this whole thing built. And look, I'm here to tell you, here's a hot take right now about Shedeur Sanders. If Cleveland wants to draft him tomorrow, do not put it past Shedeur Sanders and his dad to be like, no, y'all traded back, didn't want me the first time. No way I'm coming to Cleveland the second time in the second round. I bet you. I wonder what his tagline is going to be like. You know, everybody, all the receivers and stuff, they have this tagline where it's like, oh my gosh, 32 teams passed on me, the first time or whatever it was. I think the only two teams that didn't have a draft pick were the Texans and the Rams that didn't pick in the first round. So, and we'll go through all that. But these are just some things before that I kind of ran across. But man, that's a bad look. You think he's burning all those? Is he going to do a reverse burn like players do their team, their favorite players, or fans do their favorite players? So, I mean, but anyways, Shedeur, not a good look, especially when they traded. The Giants were trading, and then they showed Shedeur Sanders' camp, and then they showed Jackson Dart's camp. It was a bad look, man. And now there's all this discourse going on Twitter and on, yo, you want to see the downfall? No, dude, it's funny. It's just funny. The guy had everything. He had a custom bookcase made, for goodness sakes. Like, if he had a custom bookcase made and he didn't get drafted, that's freaking hilarious. Like, any other situation, you would laugh. It's funny. So stop being so uptight. And Adam Schefter. Oh my gosh, dude, I don't know if Adam Schefter, if he was trying to, this had to be intentional. There's no way Adam Schefter, breaking news, no way Adam Schefter wore this not thinking it was going to cause a stir. This is either he's completely aloof or he's completely aware of what he's doing. That wearing a hoodie, he went full on Keenan Allen on us right there with the hoodie coming out of the suit. So he had to know. I mean, we've seen turtlenecks, we've seen Dickies. I mean, this is a slap in the face to Cousin Eddie, because he's trying to out Dickie Cousin Eddie with this hoodie thing. So I'm not exactly sure what he's up to, but he was cooking something here. I'm staying woke on this. I'm staying fully woke about the whole Adam Schefter wearing the hoodie under his suit. I'm 100% not believing in this right now. There's something going on. This was calculated. He knew what he was doing. This man knew what he was doing. Some other notes that I had was Clay Matthews leading off this draft with the joke, the Bears still suck. As you know, they brought out all the Packers greats, and you have to do that if you're Clay Matthews or any of the Packers greats. You have to rack on the Bears. You just have to do that. So, Amazon Pharmacy was a sponsor. They can't help themselves getting pharmaceuticals involved. I think the NFL has some sort of link with that. But yeah, we had some trades. We'll get through all that. They brought out Colleen Wolfe and Laura Rutledge in some sort of WCW, WWF union of like ESPN and NFL Network. to announce that they were announcing the schedule of the NFL. Like, they did an announcement to say there was an announcement of the NFL schedule announcement. So I don't know. That was some weird, like, Marvel, DC, WWF, WCW, and I don't know what the hell they were wearing, but it was that was just that's the NFL thinking that they can do anything and they can do no wrong. Basically, is what that was. So, um, but yeah, and another takeaway I had is Mike Greenberg, Greeny. The dude couldn't stop talking about kids' ages. He early on, he just, "This kid turns 21 then. This kid turns 21. He won't be 20." He just on and on and on about the ages. Come on, Green. Just give it a rest, buddy. Give it a rest. Okay, they're all young. They're in their, we don't know nowadays because it's all COVID. The whole COVID, they've been in school for 6, 7 years. Who knows? That tight end for Miami's been there for 10 years. But anyways, but he just we get it. We get it, Greeny. Um, okay. So that was my little takeaways from initially. Now let's get to the meat and potatoes here. Let's get to this other slide where we're gonna go through each one. Pick number one, ladies and gentlemen. I don't think this is any surprise that Cam Ward went number one, quarterback out of Miami. Tennessee needs a lot more than pick number one. A quarterback. I wonder if he is going to be number one. Is he one of the guys who got to keep his jersey? He'll actually be number one. How about that? Unless Tennessee has retired. I'm not really sure. I'm not sure. But you um nothing big shocker there. But the problem with this was to me, they were comparing him to Pat Mahomes right out of the gate. That's a that's a little, I don't know if you want to do that to a guy. Just, you know, that's that's a lot to do that to a guy who just got drafted. I mean, and they don't have Andy Reid coaching there. So it's a completely different situation. He's not going to be sitting for a year under Alex Smith. So that's a lot to, and I mean, he was at Incarnate Word and he made them better, but couldn't win the big one. And he was at Washington State and he was in Miami. And he made them all better, but what did he ever win? So I don't know. But the thing about this is like literally 5 minutes later, the Browns and the Jaguars, the Browns traded out of pick number two, uh, and traded it to the Jaguars. And it literally, like, as soon as this pick was made for Cam Ward, he got cucked and body bagged immediately by this trade. I don't know if I was Cam Ward, I'd be pissed because they didn't even give him a chance to, like, it went straight from, oh, he was the first pick. Oh, no, no, no. You know, they didn't even really boo Goodell when he first came out there, too, by the way. Green Bay, pretty good draft party there from what I saw. People didn't look too rowdy. It was a big square. They had it pretty well. It was very geometrical the way that they had that thing set up. So, but anyways, that big blockbuster trade, the Browns received the 5th overall pick in the first round this year, the 36th overall pick in the second round this year, 126 overall in the fourth round, and then the 2026 first round from the Jags. And the Jaguars got the second overall pick, 104th overall pick in the fourth round, and the 200 overall pick this year. So basically, the Browns got an extra first round pick for next year. The Browns fans are probably pretty mad about this because they had a chance to get a generational talent like Travis Hunter. So, quote unquote, and if, like, look, some of these guys who are announcing, the Lewis Riddicks and the Booger McFarlands and the, Greenberg, who's insufferable at times, and Mel Kiper, if we have to listen to another round of, hey, this guy's he's got all the tools, if you could just get him to do what he's supposed to do. And it's like, man, that is if you're about to invest millions of dollars in these guys, I kind of want them to, like, want to do what they're supposed to do. That would be kind of cool, you know? I don't understand how you can sink that much value and that much investment into somebody who you're not sure if they even want to play hard all the time. You know what I mean? So I don't know. Anyways, that was a big trade to start the thing off. And then it kind of cooled down. We were led to believe that should do, and I mean, holy smokes, Mel Kiper. I rough day for Mel Kiper. Just parading around. Shedeur Sanders was his best available, number one pick, number one ranking on his, and just nothing from Shedeur the entire time, except just videos of him awkwardly smiling. So just a rough go for Mel Kiper Jr. Really a rough go. Also, before we move on, the Kansas City Chiefs can't help themselves, can they? They, I mean, they just can't help themselves. They feel like they have to trade every. They're so smug right now. They're so smug of themselves. They're sniffing their own farts. South Park meme. And all you fans, especially you Country Roads Mahomes, take me homes. You know that the Chiefs, they get to the end of the draft here, and they're just like, ooh, we want to. Oh, let's call the Bills, see if we can get them to trade. Nope, probably didn't, probably couldn't. And then they're so smug, they can't help themselves. They got to trade with somebody because they want everybody to say, "Oh, look how smart the Chiefs are. They're just stockpiling picks. They're stockpiling picks. We're the Chiefs. Whippity doo." Enough, Chiefs. We get it. We get it. You like to dance around and mess with people. We get it. Get over it. So, anyways, so again, they've got Cam Ward who got cucked. Cool graphic though. Number one goes number one. See what they do. Number two, the Heisman Trophy winner, Travis Hunter, stays in his hometown, Florida, and he got drafted by the Jags. And I can only imagine Liam Cohen with his weird little Duval face was just Duval in his way all the way. You got to give him credit. He went after Travis Hunter. They have Brian Thomas Jr. as a wide receiver, so that could be a nice little 1-2 punch. I'm sure that he's gonna. Liam Cohen's not an idiot. He wouldn't draft this guy. He wasn't gonna let him play both ways. So, but the Jags traded up, and I don't know. People are saying the Jags fleeced the Browns, and the Browns got fleeced. Whatever. I don't know. Who knows? Who freaking knows? But anyways, Travis Hunter to the Jags. That was the trade there. Nice little graphic there. Cleveland basically they swapped basically picks, first, fourth, and sixth from the Browns. Jacksonville got, and then Cleveland got the fifth overall pick, 36, 126, and then a first rounder next year for the Jags. So basically, Cleveland's banking on the Jags sucking. So I mean, they're in the AFC South, so who knows? I don't. Cleveland, they could get Shedeur tomorrow because they're the first pick next or tomorrow, 33rd pick. So they could wind up, I mean, if you're Cleveland, does Travis Hunter solve all your problems? I don't know, but does Shedeur Sanders solve your problems as a quarterback? So who knows? Who knows what Cleveland's up to? But number 3, the Giants pick this thing. This dude's a baller. I thought he was a little weird trying to fake injury so he could fall in the draft so that he could go back to Philadelphia. So I don't really know what that was all about. But Abdul Carter goes to the Giants. They have Kayvon Thibodeau, and they have Brian Burns. So it's like an embarrassment I don't know. I guess they're going to trade Kayvon Thibodeau or something. They're going to do something with one of those guys because they can't have all of them. I don't know. Maybe they'll play him off ball like he played some at Penn State, but who knows? We'll see. But Abdul Carter, the Giants. He was at home too. He didn't go to the draft. So there were some weird outfits. There's some weird outfits going on. There you go. Lil Wayne. Then we got the Abdul Carter, Lawrence Taylor comparisons already. And then the Patriots do the smart thing. They take the tackle from LSU because Drake May had so many shoulders to his damn solar plexus last year that they had to do something. Like, not a flashy pick. And apparently, what's his face? The the coach, Vrabel, is just cleaning house, getting rid of everybody, just getting them all out. Players that were drafted, that were there, this and that. Get them out of there. You don't have to go home, but you gotta get the hell up out of here. Um, there you go. Will Campbell and his little short arms allegedly going to the pit. Smart pick. Trenches, baby. Trenches. This is there was a lot of SEC being picked. Then you go to the Browns, get the defensive tackle from Michigan, Mason Graham. Bingo. Smart. Miles Garrett, Mason Graham, Miles and Mason. Bingo. Um, then yes, dude, this was a great pick. Pete Carroll wants the next Marshawn Lynch. He wants to run the damn ball. He wants to run the ball. Ashton Jeanty and his Crocs heading to Las Vegas to the Raiders. The Raiders. So, that's a great fit. They're gonna run the ball. Pete Carroll's got himself Gino and Marshawn 2.0. Let's go. Oh, that was great. Yeah, see, this is an interesting. I don't know if this is like a religious thing that he's wearing. I don't know. It looks kind of Japanese, but I'm not a fashion guy. I don't know what Abdul Carter's wearing, so I don't know what's in his wardrobe. But there you go. Oh, he took his Crocs off. That's unfortunate. He took his Crocs off. He's a stout dude. Then you get to so here's funny whenever they start showing the crowd these NFL drafts and they get to these parts, they start naming off uh offensive tackles and offensive guards and defensive tackles and all that stuff. You could tell the Jets fans didn't have any idea Armand Mambo was out of Missouri. They never watched a down of Missouri football in their life. But they get an offensive tackle. They've got they got some rebuilding to do up there in New York. So who's hold on. Oh, Justin Fields. That's what they got Justin Fields, Jordan Travis from FSU. Forgot about that. They probably and Tyrod Taylor, the wily veteran. But yeah, Justin Fields got they got Justin Fields as tackle there. There you go. See if he can actually throw the football on time. Then we got the 8th pick. If you're a Panthers fan, and I was in a group message with a couple of different Panthers fans, and one of our buddies plays for the Panthers, and it's like he was like, "Let's go," and then it was kind of like, I don't, my opinion, their defense gave up a historic amount of points last year. Like, I don't know why they would pick Ted McMillan, a guy who's kind of hit or miss, supposedly, as far as his work ethic. And it's like Louis Riddick said, he's a great contested ball catcher. And it's like, why is he catching everything contested? Why can't he get open? Create some space. But I don't know. This was an interesting pick. But I guess they're trying to get Bryce Young some more. I mean, one of the things too was freaking Tyler Warren sitting right there for the Panthers. I guess they got that young guy. I can't remember his name, the tight end for the Panthers, a young guy. He was really good. For the Panthers last year. Was it Jatavion Sanders? Yeah, it was Jatavion Sanders. So they're gonna have Jatavion Sanders, Xavier Legette, and then Ted McMillan. And then Thielen, right? Thielen's there. So Canales is up to something. I don't know what it is, but who knows? They can't stop anybody. So just a weird pick, but whatever. If you're a Panthers fan, I don't know if you're a Panthers fan, whatever. Kelvin Banks, offensive tackle. They don't know who's going to be throwing the football, but the Saints go big dudes right here. So that's I think there's a run of SEC picks from here on out, but they don't know who's going to be throwing the football there. So whatever. But this was freaking hilarious. If you haven't seen the video, you got to go see the video when this guy got drafted. There was somebody that was holding a baby. And when he got drafted, they showed it, the baby, like whoever was holding the baby started clapping and like jumping up and down, and the baby was asleep. And then when they started clapping and stuff, the baby woke up and it looked like it didn't know where the hell it was at. It was hilarious. So, oh, there it is right there. They start clapping, that baby, that baby just pops wide awake. I guess it's his skin. Oh, I love that. You love seeing all these guys surrounded by their families. Pretty cool. I mean, that's life changing right there. And here's the damn schedule release. Good gosh. Y'all are out of control with that nonsense. But this one was crazy. So the Bears at pick number 10 take Colston Loveland, the tight end from Michigan. I mean, by all accounts, I thought it was going to be Tyler. I was it was going to be Tyler Ward, but I mean, hey, everybody. Caleb Williams needs more help. Huh. I mean, Cole Kmet was his. Didn't Cole Kmet have a pretty good season last year? Caught a few touchdown passes there. So it's like, here they go again, getting Caleb Williams more help, more, I'm so sick of that saga of, he's got to have more help. I don't know. But I, Tyler Warren not going here, if they were going to pick a tight end, is completely baffling to me why you would not pick Tyler Warren. So what they're saying is, shout out to this guy too for the sweet. I think he won I think he may have won the first round of best viewing party, where he had just two massive elk on the backdrop there. I don't know where he was at. I forgot where he was at, but shout out to him. I'm so sick and tired of the Bears and their fans just, oh, good deal. I mean, there's no excuse now. They've completely revamped the entire interior of the offense, the offensive line. He's got weapons everywhere. There's no excuse. He's got one of the best offensive minds from Detroit. So that's enough. And here, okay. The 49ers apparently love this guy. I'm a 49ers fan. You know, he wasn't even the highest graded uh, outside linebacker from Georgia. So I don't get it. They're saying he's got like Alden Smith type qualities with the long arms, but his stats were just okay. But it's one of those guys where, like, if he puts it all together, he's got all the intangibles and this and that. And it's like, you know, we'll see. They're trying to bookend him with Bosa. Really, where they need help, the 49ers is the interior line. So I thought they were gonna go Tyler Ward. Can you imagine 12 personnel with Juszczyk, who can do anything, Tyler Warren, who could do anything? I mean, Tyler Warren lined up everywhere last year for Penn State. So I guess it's an okay pick. I like they went defense. So we'll see. Then you had the Cowboys select the guard from Alabama. So that's what? How many SEC guys is that in a row? One? Yeah. So you had two. So one Big Ten SEC, Big Ten SEC, Big Ten SEC is basically what it's looking like here. So the Cowboys went guard. They're really good at drafting offensive linemen. Their past 5 offensive linemen they've drafted in their first round have been like Pro Bowlers. It's crazy. But I'm going to sit here and tell you right now that they needed to draft an offensive lineman because Dak can't get rid of the ball fast enough. That's what they were thinking. They're like, oh my gosh, Dak can't get rid of it. And then here's another Big Ten defensive tackle. The other one at opposite of Mason Graham, graded really high, to the Dolphins, because Dolphins are soft, baby. They're really soft. And this is, golly, the Colts had to be sitting there just like licking their chops to have Tyler Warren. I mean, they have nobody that can throw them the football. I mean, who's their quarterbacks? They've got Anthony Richardson and who's the other guy? They just brought in somebody, didn't they? Daniel Jones. That's right. They brought in Daniel Jones. So, I mean, we've got Tyler. That's crazy that he fell all the way to there. That's nuts. That's nuts. All the way to pick 14, Tyler Warren. One of the oh yeah, Speed McCormick's here. What's up, dude? Sorry we missed you last time. But yeah, Tyler Warren, just an absolute chess piece, freak athlete. Sweet hair too. Colts, man. I can't believe he fell to 14. That's crazy. But hey, the Falcons weren't messing around, dude. They got Jalen Walker, the defensive end from pick 15 from Georgia. And then they came back in late in the first. I mean, how cool is it for that guy? He didn't really have to move that far. I think he's from Salisbury. So then the Cardinals had one of these. It's always the defensive tackles or defensive ends that have like the most ridiculous intangibles of like, wow, but they've been this big since they were in high school, so they never really had to do anything about it. You know what I mean? Like, it's just I don't know. Some of these guys like these runs of defensive tackles are like they have it's not character, but it's motor issues. It's like, are they committed to it? Like when they want to be dominant, they can be. Like that's what they're all saying. So I don't know. It's a good pick for him. And what's his face? The head coach there is he's a defensive guy, so build it up front. That's another SEC guy. Then we get Shamar Stewart, SEC. Same thing, dude. Like they were going over this guy. They were going They were going over this guy, Shamar Stewart. Like same thing. Like, hey, does he have the motor? When he wants to do it, he can. He's 6'5", 300, 267 pounds, runs a 4.5 40. And it's like same thing. When he wants to play, he can. Will he play? We don't know. And it's like, why would you draft a guy like that? Why wouldn't you draft a guy like the dude from Marshall, Mike Green? Who kind of had an up and down career and had to like earn everything that he got again. You know what I mean? B. McCormick says golf picks just for AK. Dude, we missed yesterday in the golf show because I'm on vacation right now. So we're doing like a special late night recording. Everybody's asleep in the house. Um, so the Bengals, that whoever the anchor for the that was doing the coverage, like asking the post game questions, was pretty funny because she said, "What's it going to be like having to go after Lamar Jackson and Joe Burrow?" And it's like, wait a minute. You got drafted by the Bengals. What do you mean Joe Burrow? Then we had a North Dakota State guy, guard, who played tackle at North Dakota State, go to the Seahawks at 18. There you go. It's like the third or fourth or fifth year in a row that, or fourth or 4 out of 5 years that North Dakota State's had an offensive lineman selected. So this was an interesting pick by the Bucks at 19, and Emeka Ibuka. Not to say he's not good, but they drafted Jalen McMillan from Washington last year, who was a burner. So I don't know. They're going to have Mike Evans. Aren't they going to have Chris Godwin too? And then are they out on Jalen McMillan? The Bucks are going to be throwing the freaking football all over the yard. Because Chris Godwin resigned, didn't he? With the Bucks. Yeah. Yeah, he's back with the Bucks. So I don't know. I mean, he's coming off an injury, but I don't know. But anyways, so interesting pick. A lot of wide receivers in the NFC South there. Pick 20, Jahdae Barron, DB. Oh, Sean Payton trying to load up, dude. Sean Payton trying to load up. But yeah, was that another SEC guy? Yeah, so Big Ten SEC, Big Ten SEC, because really it's like 5 schools: Ohio State, Michigan, Penn State, Texas, Alabama, Georgia, pretty much. So Pick number oh, man, this is where it got fun. Pick number 21, this is where everybody thought it was gonna be Shedeur Sanders, whatever the Pittsburgh Steelers and Mike Tomlin, the Deion Sanders, all this. He's got S, he's got that, blah, 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 blah. This is the perfect fit. They spent the ESPN has been spending the entire week on this. They've been spending like a month. They've devoted a month of their resources, ESPN has, to throwing around the idea that Shedeur Sanders was going to be drafted by the Pittsburgh Steelers. They wanted it to happen because they've been perpetuating the Mike Tomlin. He can handle Shedeur Sanders and Dion. He's not afraid of Dion taking his job. He's the only coach in the NFL. This and that. And then what is it's actually pretty freaking hilarious. Pittsburgh, what do? Nope, we're going up the middle defensive tackle because our 37-year-old defensive tackle probably is going to retire. So I mean, I wouldn't have gone a guy from Oregon. I'm sorry. They're never been run stoppers. So, but anyways, that was freaking hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. And then this was an interesting. The Chargers select Amarion Hampton, RB out of North Carolina. I mean, this dude's a monster too, though. Great, just second running back, obviously on the board. But they signed Najee Harris, so this is going to be Jim Harbaugh's going to want to run the football. Like there's some talent running back wise in the AFC West, minus the Chiefs. Well, really the actually it's just two teams. It's just the Raiders and the Chargers. So he'll be fun to watch in that offense. Then you get for the first time since 2002, Aaron Rodgers punching air right now. The Green Bay Packers, the host of the draft, select Matthew Golden, who was absolutely blazing at the combine. So they haven't drafted a wide receiver in the first rounds in 23 years. And so the crowd went nuts. He had a sweet suit on. I don't know that he's a one. I don't know that he's a one. I don't he wasn't really that dominant of a one in Texas. So I don't know. But the story was cool. And the crowd went nuts. So then you got Minnesota taking Donovan Jackson. Here's another Ohio State guy, another Texas guy. Like trying to protect what's his face, JJ McCarthy. And then the Giants traded back into the first round. The Texans trade the pick number 25 to the Giants for picks 34, 99, and a 2026 third rounder. So the Giants gave up 3 picks to the Texans so they could get back into the first round. And what do the Giants do? Giants the Giants select Jax. Like this is another one you could see everybody's face. They're like, here come the Giants. They're gonna get their guy, Shedeur. Nope. Jackson Dart. Which people will look at the Giants draft because of what they need, and they will be like, the Giants are killing it. They got Abdul Carter, they got Jackson Dart, they got an edge rusher and a quarterback. This is exactly what they needed. But I think Jackson Dart's going to be another Drew Lock, Zach Wilson. I mean, prove me wrong. I don't think Shedeur would have been any better, but that's just me. So B. McCormick says he's got on his orange. Oh, there's his golf picks. Yeah, he's got there we go. He said, can we take a bet on Miami quarterback getting knocked out first 5 weeks, please? You think it was a good pick for Green Bay? I don't know. I mean, it's what they needed, but I feel like he's another undersized kind of speed guy. I feel like they already have one of those, maybe even 2. So I don't know. But the Giants doing this and then drafting Jackson Dart was hilarious because at this time they showed the camps of Shedeur Sanders and of Jackson Dart. And when they showed Shedeur, everybody was just kind of milling around. And then they showed Jackson Darts. we're just like jumping for joy. It was incredible. So, anyways. And then the Falcons come back. Oh, there's the trade. So Giants got the 25th overall pick this year, and then Houston got 3 picks, 2 this year and 1 next year. And then the Falcons trade up. from the Rams. They get the Falcons traded up to 26 from the Rams, and the Rams trade back, and then they select an absolute freak show, James Pierce from there you go. There you go, B. McCormick. There's your guy, James Pierce from Tennessee. But another one of those guys are like, hey, when he wants to play, he's really great. He's awesome. He's a freak. It's just you got to watch those plays taking off. But so far the Falcons and their pass rush has sucked for like 2 years. So they made it a point to be like, we're going to go get SEC guys. We're going to get a defensive end from Tennessee, and we're going to get a linebacker from Georgia, basically. There you go. There's the there's the trade. So Atlanta receives the first round pick, uh, and then the 101st overall pick in the third round this year. And then the Rams receive the 46th overall pick, the 242nd overall pick, and then a first rounder next year. So the Rams got out of the first round of this year and then picked up an additional two. Rams suck. Who cares? Actually, I hate the Rams. It's just me being a Niners fan. Then you had the Ravens take the safety from Georgia. Another Georgia guy, another SEC guy, who just seems like an absolute animal workout dude, just loves football. So, and they got Kyle Hamilton back there too. So we'll see. They pair them together. Lions go Tyleek Williams up the middle. That's a Dan Campbell pick right there. That's biting kneecaps pick with pick 28. And then Washington, Josh Connerly. This was kind of a shock. I thought they'd go defensive side of the ball, but they're trying to save their franchise quarterback. So there you go. And then the Bills select a cornerback out of Kentucky, Max Harrison, that guy was hilarious. He was funny whenever he got the mic in front of him. So apparently he's a good locker room guy. Apparently fits what they like to do, like for the corners to play off, break on the ball, keep everything underneath, this and that. The old Sean McDermott that ultimately gets a beat late in the playoffs because they just get 5-yarded to death all the way down the field. But it's a need that they had. Interesting pick because apparently that cornerback from Michigan, I wonder what's going on with that guy because he was the number one rated cornerback apparently. So, and then here come the Chiefs trading back to number 32 from the Eagles, 31, who wanted to draft, Jihad Campbell out of Alabama. So apparently he's a freak show. And he's got to have a shoulder surgery, or he had one. He's got to have another one. And he's got a knee problem too. So, but there you go. And then the Chiefs, so the Chiefs got the 32nd overall pick, and they picked up a 5th rounder this year. So they picked Josh Simmons, who got injured, played at San Diego State tackle, and then played at Ohio State. But the Chiefs are just full of them. So they just wanted to do that. That's what the Chiefs want to do. That's what they want to do. They just have to trade. Can't help themselves. They feel like they got to one up everybody. They're the Bud Light commercial, Mr. One Upper. That's all they are. And then now you've got, if I had to give the highest grade right now, I would give it to the Falcons and the Colts. Like the Falcons doing what they did, they got 2 edge rushers because they're like, we're not about to have the worst pass rush for 3 years in a row. So they did exactly what they wanted to do. Cam Ward, I don't know. I don't know. I feel like that's a B. I feel like Jacksonville, for the trade they made and for getting Travis Hunter, that's an A. The Giants, what they did, not entirely sure what I would give them. But anyways, that's the draft recap. Quick vacation stream, ladies and gentlemen. Appreciate everybody tuning in. If you're just now tuning in, podcast will be out tomorrow. And we will be back maybe with one more stream before, but Sunday for sure. So appreciate everybody tuning in. B. McCormick, be good.